stand here. So I shared a loaded tag that I made for my mermaid journal, and somebody asked me if I would share how to make it. So this is the tag that I made. It's like got loads of pockets in. I was roughly inspired by Wendy Townsend, who I think saw Angela Kerr do something. So it's kind of like a fifth hand kind of an idea, but slightly adapted. So the first part that comes from Wendy is the construction of the base. After that, then I've kind of done my own thing, but when I saw her construct the base, I thought it were one of them why hadn't I thought of that moments. So all you need to do is you get one sheet of your tea or coffee dyed copier paper. Okay, I do use the heavier weight copy paper. You could use card, but it might get a bit bulky, and so all you do is just cut it roughly in half. Okay. And then you could either make 2 of these bases, or I'm going to use this part for the how I construct the loaded pocket bit. Okay, are you with me? Awesome. So, so what you then do is, let me just get my other one for reference. So, all you do is you turn this bit into a tag. So I always have templates all around. I have them, you know, pre-cut so that I can just hold it against the corners like so, and then just trim it off so that it's even each side. Okay, if you don't get it completely even, it's not that massive of a problem. So what I've done is, as I've bought digital kits and there's been tag sizes in them that I like, I make templates. I make templates for everything when I buy kits. I make templates for pockets, you know, I make templates for, I've even made a template, I don't know where it is, here we go, for envelopes, so that if I want to create one out of part of the kit that's not actually been made into an envelope, I can. And just draw around it and cut it out. So there we go, just trim that off. Okay, and then how far up has this gone? I think we've just folded it to about there. I don't think I've actually, did I actually do a measurement? Let me just, I'll do it exactly the same and then I'll give you a measurement, because some people like to measure stuff, don't they? Let me just remind myself how I did it, because I've forgotten. So it goes to there, and then I folded it to about there. Alright, so let's have a look. Is that about right? Don't know, this seems longer for some reason. Let me have a look. Don't know why that is. Hold on a minute. There we go. So I'm folding it to about there anyway. Okay. And you suppose you could have that as long or as short as you want, but obviously you want it to fit in your book. So if I give you a measurement for that, it's roughly, so this is A4, so it's roughly, I've gone up roughly 4.5 inches, say, or in centimetres, that is roughly about 11.5, okay, but you do it as big or as small as you want, I suppose, and that will then make a pocket. That will, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just glue that. I'm just going to put a hole in it first. It's easier if you just put a hole in it. So I'm going to punch a tab in the side before I glue it with a circle punch, which don't want to work. I think it needs sharpening, this one. Normally don't give me a problem. Fail! I'll just trim it, doesn't normally give me a problem, that punch. If your punches start where they're not cutting out good, just get some foil and punch up and down on the foil. So I'm going to glue this on 3 sides, okay? So we're just going to glue it on 3 sides. I'm not going to do any stitching on this part, but I'll do a little bit of stitching on my pocket. If you do, please, 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 if you are new to journaling and you're using your sewing machine and you're stitching, if you're doing it on a part that's glued, wait for it to dry, and don't ever use red line tape and then sew over where the red line tape is. That's my tip for today. Don't say I haven't warned you. Because you'll get all the gunk on your needles and then it won't work and it just won't sew. Right, so you've been warned. That's my tip of the day. So if you decide that you prefer red line tape and you were to put red line tape around something, don't ever then go over the top with your sewing machine. It's just not worth it. Trust me, and I know because I've done it. I had a stupid moment and I've done it. Right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to layer over that with some backing paper. And I'm working today with the Andrea's Artemis Butterfly, what's it called? Touch of Blue? It's the new one. A Touch of Blue I think it's called. So I'm just going to trim the white edge off. Okay. And then I'm just going to layer completely over this with this background paper, and this will then make it sturdy because this is only copy paper. So I'm just going to roughly measure the length, which is about there, and then roughly measure, I'll just like to leave a little bit of an increment, and then about there. So I'm cutting from there to there. Alright. Trim her back in. Okie doke. Go. And it is just rough, you know. It really, the thing with journaling is it's meant to look rough and ready. You know, if you want perfection, go and make a mini album. You know, with cardstock and matting and layering and carefully measured. With journaling, you just need kind of like rough measuring. You don't need perfect. I'm just going to rough up those edges because that's just how I like to do it. Okay. I've got one of those tools that you can get that distresses the edges, and I just find it useless. So I'm going to go back. I've got my template again, so I'm just going to snip it. And this might not be perfect. The angle might not be spot on, but it doesn't matter. Again, nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's about having fun. Just let me grab my phone because it'll go off in the middle of my filming. My husband's got like a sixth sense. He could not ring me literally for months. Just come home when he wants feeding. But the second I turn the camera on, he starts texting me and ringing me. I'm sure he's got this house bugged. Right, so then what I'm going to do, I'm using blue distress ink. You can use what colour you want. If you prefer vintage photo, then go for it. I like this at the moment. It's broken china. I've had these, literally, I'm not even joking, probably since about 1842. That is how long these last. They're brilliant. I would like some of the distress oxides. I think they're wonderful, but I am, you know, they don't call me Scrimping Mummy for nothing. I'm a little bit mean, and I think, well, I've already got these, so I'll wait while these run out in about, you know, 2076. Then I'll buy some more. But you know, what's point in having piles and piles of stuff? Use what you've got and save your money for digital kits. So I'm just gonna ink the edge of this one as well. I'm actually doing a swap with Kay, my friend, so this may well end up going to Kay, this one. Yeah, I was really inspired when I watched Wendy's video. If I can re-find it, I'll leave a link below. I'll try and go and re-find it. And then you just glue this on. Whee! Okie doke. And then that is the base for your tag. Okay. Like I say, if these angles aren't perfect, don't go worrying about it. And I'll just need to repunch that when it's dry. Let me just slip a piece of scrap card in there for now so it doesn't stick my pocket shut. Alright, because normally I'd like wait for it to dry, but when you're doing a video, you know, you try and speed it up a bit, so some processes you don't do as perfect as you might do otherwise. I might take a bit more time if I wasn't doing a video. So that's that. And then how I make my triple pocket, I've done a video on it before. It's the way I do mine. Love it. I made this up myself. I haven't even copied it off nobody or anything. So you get your long sheet of paper and you score it at 1.5. If you don't have a scoreboard, just use a ruler. Where's my scoring tool? It's falling out as always. That's the only downside to this cutting machine, is the blooming scoring tool drops out. It drives me insane. So never mind, I've got this ball tool here, I'll use this. So 1.5 there. And then 4.5. Okay. Again, you can do it by eye. I just like to score things. I don't know why. Don't really matter. So then the 1.5 inch you fold up. This one you fold down. Okay. And then where this meets, you fold it all back on itself again. Okay. Alright, and then when I'm doing a full pocket, I'll sew it on 3 sides, but in this instance I'm just going to just sew it on 2. And the reason I'm doing that is because then you can cut it down if you want to, and it leaves these bits open so that you can put a tuck in there, something in there, something in the back, and then also where you've folded here, you can put something there as well. Okay, so I'm just going to go and sew this on three sides. It will just hold all that together and then I'll be back. Bear with me. Okay, so there's my little pocket. So when I glue it, I'm going to glue on 2 sides, and then I'll have a tuck in the back, that's 1, a tuck there, 2, that's 3, and then we've got this little secret pocket hole there, that's 4. Okay, and if you glue that on there, then you've also got that tuck there, which is actually 5. Now this is obviously too large, so because I've not sewn all the way, I can just trim it down. So let's just mark where we want it. Okay, so I want it about there. I like to have an increment all the way around so I can see the pattern underneath, so I want it about there. So all we have to do is just get it on my trimmer, trim that bit off. Okay, grab my ink, bit of ink on. Okay, Fondabidoza, just flick it on there. Sorry if there's a few stops and starts. My husband actually did phone me because I didn't answer his text. He decided to ring me. Honestly. Right, so we're going to glue it on 2 sides, alright? And you'll still be able to see that stitch in there, so it'll still look cool. And in between talking on the phone, I punched the paper out there in the thumb notch as well. Alright, so that goes on there like so. Okie doke. I think I just need to put some, I need to glue it on 3 sides, don't I? No, don't. No, don't. No, don't. No, don't. I need to glue it here. Sorry, I do want it gluing down at the side there, but not on the top. See, it's thrown me now, ringing me. Honestly. Right, so that is on there now, I'm focused again. So that is the base, all sorted, and from there then you just load it with what you want. Alright, now is I'm going to decorate it really quickly for yourself using Artemis Touch of Blue. So I've put a little hole there. I need some sort of, let me just see if I can get some sort of, here we go, this will do. I'll have some of this silk here. Have I got a piece already torn? That'll do. Okay, so what I'll do with that, I probably won't need all of that. Right, so I'll just put it in, and what I don't use, I'll use. you know, what I trim off I do use, I save them. So through the front, or you can use string, or you can use twine, or you can use sari seam binding. Now you could put an eyelet in there. I'm a little bit mean at using my eyelets because I don't want them to run out, and when I'm using this lovely silk, it covers up most of that anyway, so I don't always use them, but you can add an eyelet there if you want. And then I'm just going to trim it down, and I will not, don't worry, these will not get wasted because I will layer those underneath words and things. In fact, we might use it at the bottom of here in a moment. So what I've also got is a collection of digi items that I've printed out. These are some more of the touch of blue, and then these words here, this is fantastic. This is a freebie over on Andrea's Facebook page, Artemis and Friends, so I'll leave a link to the shop, I always do when I use her stuff. So I'm just going to load this now with bits and bobs from here, so let's see what we can make. So I'm going to keep it quite basic. I'm not going to, you know, decorate them up loads. I'm going to keep it really basic to make it quick for the video. If you're new to journal making, literally all you need to do is print these out, cut them out, maybe punch holes in the top, maybe ink them, and you're done. You know, if you're more experienced, you might add some gesso, you might add some other things, you might add some, you know, cheesecloth, whatever, and you might decorate that further. But okay. Stick that on there like that. I might edit it out, I might not. see how I feel. I'm not big on editing. I'm not very good at it, that's why. Right, so that's that one, finally. Alright, so let's just clear the decks a little bit and see what else we've got. So, what else have I got here? I've got room in this pocket here, haven't I, to put something. So I may well just use this journaling card here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim it down to suit myself. So let me get my trimmer again. And I think I'll just trim it off the bottom. Let's have a look. What size do I need? So it wants to be about there. So that's your measurement, about there, scientifically measured here. But that's what it should be like when you're journaling. You know, there's no right or wrong. Just do roundabouts. Roundabouts. Okay. Bit of inking, and then you can journal on the back of that. And that will go in that one. Beautiful, look at that. And then what I might just do, but I'll do it after so the video is not long. What I did on the other one was I just sewed a small piece of fabric there, so that whoever receives it knows that that's something to pull out, if you know what I mean. Okay, so in this smaller part here, let's see if one of these little tags will fit, which it does. Okay, might just trim that down a right little bit as well. Okay, and then I would maybe add a small amount of twine or something to that to indicate to the person that, you know, that there's something in there, and prompt them to pull that tag out, as it were. Just ink it. Okay, so that goes in my little secret pocket there. Alright, let me just do that hole. Again, it's showing some white and I don't like it. It's better. That's that one. Then what we're going to put in these, let's have a look what I've got. I've got some of these other journaling cards. Look at these beautiful, beautiful lilies. Absolutely love lilies. And because we've left that open and we've not sewn it, then we're not going to be as restricted size-wise. Alright, I'm just going to trim this down ever so slightly though, to suit myself. I don't want to cut all of those lilies, so I'm going to trim it from that side. Re-ink it, and then I might just trim it just a little bit because I want to still be able to see my tag at the top. You can rough the edges up, you can stick these to your coffee dyed papers. Another way of doing it is to actually print on the back with a coffee dye print. There's a free one on Andrea's page, which I do sometimes use. So that will go in there like so. Okay, and then what else have we got? Let's have a look what we've got here. Let's have a look, what else have we got? I want something in that little pocket there. I've got these lovely little tiny postcards that are part of like a build on thing. So I think I'm going to stick those in there. But I think I might have to just layer those on some coffee paper because I've only printed, the other stuff I printed out on cardstock. These I've only printed on copier paper. So to strengthen them, I'm just going to stick them on some scrap pieces of coffee dyed paper that I always have to hand. Okay, let's stick that one there. And then we'll trim them out. I've got this little ephemera as well. We'll have that as well. Running out of glue. Okay. Will that go there? No, will it fit there? Need another piece. Hold on. Panic not. I've always got spares. I'm just going to layer that up on some. It's actually, I like tea dye actually because the smell, I love coffee, but the smell of coffee dyed paper for some reason, I can't be standing it in, you know, because it smells your entire house out when you're doing it. And I just don't like it. So if you want to step this up a bit, what you can do is leave each of those to dry and then you could go around with your sewing machine, or you could faux stitch with a ruler and a pen and do little stitches all the way around by hand. There's lots of things you can do. I'm just going to trim that one with a slight border. There we go. Just make that a little bit neater. Move all of that out of the way a minute. And then just really quickly ink these. I would take a lot more time normally. Try not to make this video an hour long. Stick that in there, it's a bit long. I want it shorter. I want it shorter, so I'm just going to cut some off. There we go, that's better for me. And then, yep, that's nice. I've just left a border all the way around, I haven't cut right up to the image. Just for a bit of interest. Put that in there. And then we'll have another one. And put that just in the back like that, so we've got that little layered kind of look. That's it, I'll have it like that. Okay, then you could add little paper clips or whatever if you've got any. I haven't got any, so I can't. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer a little bit of paper on here. I'm just going to actually rip that. And oops, ripped it a bit much, but it doesn't matter because we're going to glue it. Okay. Just get rid of that. Give it an ink. I'm going to have Smurf fingers now. I've got to go to Asda later. I'm going to look cracking with Smurf fingers. I'll have to get some salt scrub on them. Normally works. Put that on there like that. There's a little bit of lace. That's just a scrap that I cut off the bottom of one of the tags. Alright. Okay. So we're starting to get something like now. Then I'm going to have a look. Let's have a look. I'm going to use one of Andrea's freebies. What am I having? Quite like these black and white ones. I think that might look really cool against... oh, be original, be you. I like that one. I wonder if I can get my my punch around it. Let's have a look. Oh, I can. Look at that. So the benefit of this is that it gives me kind of straight lines to work with. Stick that in there for now. Bob that to one side. My desk's a hot mess. Trim it. Trim it. There we go. If you want, you can scuff it up. I'm not going to do with this one, and the reason being because then it looks like one of those dynamo machines, doesn't it? What I am just going to do, because that's come on white card, you've got like a white edge that bugs me. So I'm just going to get a black felt tip pen or a Sharpie or whatever, and or you can use your black ink, but mine's just not physically in reach, and just go around the edge of that to just hide. I know that's really bonkers, but it's just something that I feel the need to do. That I once saw somebody that I knew do, and ever since I've done the same. So that can go here. Okay. I'm going to put that just about, well, it doesn't really matter where it goes. And then there's some butterflies in the kit. Let me have a look, where are they? I've fussy cut a few out. Should have more than that. Where's the rest? Have I dropped them? What have I done with them? I fussy cut more than 2. I did about 4. Where are they? Obviously dropped them or something, or they're hiding. We'll make do with what we've got. Okay, so we've got these butterflies, so then we can just flick them. And once you get cracking, and if your husband's not ringing you and distracting you, you can have these made in no time, and then you can gift them, you can swap them, or if you're a journal maker, stick that to a page, and that's a page done, isn't it? That's a page done. So I'm going to have one up here attached to that card, and then one on the bottom. Ta-da! And then if you wanted, you could add, you know, you can carry on adding forever. I'll probably add a bit of something to there, and but there we go, we're done. Are we up? I'm in shot. Your pen done all that video and you can't see it. So there we go, and then again you could attach that to your journal just by gluing down 3 sides, so that then again you've got another tuck spot down the back if you so desire, or you can glue it there and there so that you could carry on tucking stuff at the back. But I think personally that that's enough, and I'd just glue that straight to a page. So there you go, give it a try. Thanks for watching. I'll leave all of the links of who's inspired me and where I've got the kit from below. Please do, if you haven't got bored and gone, click subscribe and press the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.